Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the VOR iRacing IndyCar Sprint Series from Texas Motor Speedway. We are here to kick off season number 3. And after a very exciting championship battle last time out in Austria, we are here for the high banks of Texas Motor Speedway. More on that in a little bit from Mike Wayne Robinson. But first of all, welcome Mike to the booth. Glad to have you here. Awesome. So yeah, this is your home track, and we'll talk about this plenty, I assume, in the break as well. But looking over the overview for Season 3, it is a new format. We have twin races of 20 minutes, or the lap count, obviously. Race 1 here today, in this case, is a midday race. Race 2 is going to be a night race. The qualifying results for Race 1 will be the way people grid up on the race. And then for Race 2, it will be an invert of the top 10, and then the race results from Race 1. There is a optional tire change, but no required pit stops here today from the Texas Motor Speedway. But qualifications currently underway. Mike, tell us about the track history here for Texas Motor Speedway.
Ground in 1995 or 96. I think I saw it was 96. Yes, it broke ground in 96. First race for IndyCars here was in 1997. This place used to be a lot higher bank than what it is now and what we're seeing today. We had one of those scariest wrecks in IndyCar here back in 2003 that involved Kenny Brack. And it got pretty hairy there for a little while. And 2001 they canceled the kart race here because drivers were experiencing G-lock, which could have resulted in a lot of fatalities here.
Yeah, I remember those days. Well, not because I was around, but I was watching it on YouTube quite a lot when I got into IndyCar, which is a pretty big part of the history. But unfortunately, they don't go here in real life anymore. But they did have a pretty close finish the last time we were here, though, weren't they?
Oh man, that one had me on my seat. When those finishes happened in the last few races that we had here, the last race here we saw Joseph Newgarden pass my boy Scott McLaughlin on the last lap to take the final win here. So, mind you, he actually went back-to-back wins here in the final races. So, we're gonna see some pretty good action here tonight.
Absolutely, and like I mentioned, we have a day race, which of course now the qualifications are in the daytime heat as well. I will bring up the weather in just a moment, but I am currently watching the few Altena Autosport cars out on track. But at the moment, it is Will Lyon on provisional pole with a 24.234 for Jacaparagua Racing. It's a Brazilian track name, I believe. The old oval in Rio, I believe, is the team name they're representing. So currently Will doing a pretty good job, of course, running for Indy Alliance Racing, not officially in this series, but he is on that team. And we'll talk about the teams and drivers here over the course of this race, and also the next 5 races to cover the whole series, of course, as Carl Stout across the line goes to 4th fastest. And
yeah, these guys are within tenths of each other. I mean, it is not that big of a gap. So we're gonna see a lot of close racing. We may see some pack racing in the feature. I expect these guys to be taking it kind of easy in the heat. So we'll see some really close racing.
Absolutely. So it looks like qualifying is over. We've got 40 seconds left, if I'm not mistaken. But in the meantime, we should be able to look at the starting grid for the first race here today. Of course, 20 minutes or 40 laps is the race distance. So on the pole position is going to be Will Lyon with Liam O'Sullivan alongside him. Then Alaric Vandenbos and Carl Stout on the second row. Luis Nunez and Patrick Silvassi on the third row. Patrick running a beautiful pink livery for a change. Then we got Pogadol, Olsen, Kausch, and Gretsch, 4 drivers who I'm not very familiar with as a commentator, so I'm looking forward to learning their names and their racing backgrounds as the season goes on. But those guys all on the 4th and 5th rows. Then we've got Pim van Gastel, Sunby, Forestein, Cottam, Rogenbuck, and this is a very difficult name to pronounce. I'm going to apologize in advance. Mashabunga. That's the best I can do
Uh,
to close out the
Just call him
16-car
Darren.
field. Yes, Darren, probably. DM, Darren Manning will probably do. But that's your
That's
starting grid
funny.
for the first race today. And we will have a pace lap. Now, the pace laps under caution are going to be shortened as best as possible to get as much green flag racing in as possible. Of course, a number of these drivers may not be as experienced on ovals compared to the likes of Carol Stout and Liam O'Sullivan. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic is going to play out in the race. Of course, traffic management is going to be a pretty key factor in this race. Saving your tires in the first race is going to be key as well. A little bit more than in the second race, but it's all to play for, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, the track temps that you'll see here during the day are going to eat up them tires. We don't have the luxury of having the PJ1 down in the virtual sim, but these guys are going to have to manage their tires in this first race. It may only be 40 laps, but when the track temp moves to the cooler side, we're going to start seeing a little more grip and probably a little more speed.
And I don't want to make any empty promises, but the second race especially could be a pack race. So that's going to be an interesting element to this event as well. Now, if you are interested in joining the series, whilst we do have a few seconds to cover this, here is the schedule very quickly. If I pull up the right graphic, there it is. 2 40-lap races today at Texas. Next week we go to the Nürburgring Grand Prix course for 12 laps each. Then Belle Isle on December 5th, 16 laps. 12 laps at Monza on December 12th. And to close out the season at Interlagos, 15 laps. So if you're interested in joining the series, you can definitely do so. Just head over to the Discord and fill out the Google form. Submit your liveries and all that stuff. And you can get out on the track. So here we go for the first of 2 races tonight. As the field rolls off into turn number 3.
Oh man, this is gonna be a great start to the new season in the Sprint Series. Man, I'm excited for this one.
So am I. So pace car is off into pit lane, and apparently the starting lineup graphic was all wrong because there's 2 completely different people on the front row. But the green flag is up in the air, and we are underway from the Texas Motor Speedway, and it's Kyle Gretsch leading the field to green.
And here we go, going into turn 1. They're already these top 4 you could throw a blanket on already. I mean, get ready because this draft's about to get fast.
Absolutely, and like you said, we're already 3 wide, bit of contact into turn 3. But Luis Nunez
looks like the teammates almost got there.
Yes, Pogado and Couch almost got together there, but they pull through, and Luis Nunez takes over that 3rd position. As Patrick Silvassi on the outside, as well as Liam O'Sullivan. Look at him rip the top.
Oh man, and the crazy thing here is that high side around turn 1 can get pretty hairy. It may be wide, but it does not have the grip you think it does.
Carol Stout also on the outside, moving up a position to P7. But Luis Nunez up to 2nd now as well, so he is really chasing that top spot. As now Olsen to the outside, gonna pull off the pass for now with the momentum off the corner as well. But now Nunez is gonna have the inside, but no, he will tuck back in the draft. And right as I say that, he's gonna stick his notes in and have a look again. But this time it is Olsen's position, and Kyle Gretsch in the meantime is pulling away. Already has a 2.5 tenths of a second lead as we start lap number 4 here.
Liam is making that high side work for him. He already made 1 pass on the outside the previous lap, and he's trying to make a second one. Oh, kind of got into the wall there. A little bit of a checkup. Oh, boys, hold it together. 3 wide going into turn 3.
Patrick almost clips the apron, and almost the 2 teammates, Liam and Carol, touching, but they avoid each other, and Patrick has the big scare of his night already on lap number 4, but he holds on to that car, and is still running in the top 5, trying to hold off Carol Stout.
Man, this battle for 5th is getting hairy, boys. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Liam making that high side work again in turn 3. It looks like he's going to try and crossover move going into the tri-oval. No, gonna keep it there.
And Patrick on the last lap lost 2 spots to Stout and Lion, so Lion now up to P6. Gonna wash up the track a little bit though, that's gonna allow Patrick to get a run back on him. And that outside line, like you mentioned, Liam ripping earlier, is really coming in now already. The more people run up there, the more grip it's gonna get, and especially for the night race later today, that's gonna be very important on how to pull off those passes. But Patrick gets back in front of Lion, as now O'Sullivan also to the outside of Lion, trying to make up that position. Liam finished second in the championship last time out, and Nunez and Silvassi both in the wall out of turn 2. That's going to hamper their speed going into turn 3.
Yeah, that is going to hurt their chances just a little bit. Man, Liam is up here just making the moves, man. We just seen a pass up at the front between Robin and Kyle for a minute. Robin is looking to make that high side pass going into turn 3.
And Robin is one of those drivers new to the series. I'm not sure on his oval experience, but considering his teammates as Jarno Kausch, who did run the first season with us, I would assume based on that both of those guys are very much road racers. So looking to get their feet wet on ovals. And at the moment, Robin doing a great job.
Robin making the move on the inside. Robin to the front. Oh, man, he has got that thing locked in. This is going to be a nice little battle up here at the front.
Plenty of space is what they're giving each other, which is good to see 10 laps in. We are still caution-free, which actually goes against my personal expectations, as half of the field are rookies. But, yeah, look at this side-by-side battle there. Kyle definitely having a look to the outside. Kyle is one of the drivers who runs in the DW12 Iconic Series on Fridays, who we are also going to race tomorrow, by the way, at Phoenix. But Kyle doing a great job at the moment. Definitely keeping the clean air on the wing, which is the most important thing for turn 1. Ooh, as he gets really close to Robin.
Robin is holding that inside line beautifully. He is keeping Kyle at bay, but these guys have got to watch how fast or how hard they're racing, because that's just going to open up the door for Jacob and, how do you say his name, Carol?
Carol Stout, yes. In the meantime, in the background as well, we saw Luis Nunez and Liam O'Sullivan mixing it up, along with Patrick Silvassi, who almost washes up into Liam. But this battle for P5 is still raging on.
Oh, this battle for P5 is absolutely amazing.
Back up front to the leaders, and like you mentioned, Robin Hogan really holding on that inside line. That is really going to burn up his right front tire, though, if he's not careful. Remember, this is a hot day race, and I promised I would bring up the weather, which I'm going to do right now. It is in Fahrenheit, though. It's 99 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 36 degrees Celsius, I would say. So not the hottest, but also not the coolest of tracks, and tire wear is definitely going to be a factor in this race. Even though it's a no-stop 40-lap race, those tires are going to have to be managed during the race.
They are going to be screaming by the end of this sprint race here. And you could throw a blanket over the top 4 and the back 5. These guys are battling it hard, and these back 5 are actually starting to gain on the top 4 here. We could see a really close finish in the next 20 or so laps.
Yeah, 26 laps to go at the moment. There will be 25 to go this time by, but yeah, Robin and Cal definitely swapping the lead a little bit, as Liam O'Sullivan now gets by Will Lyon as well for the 5th position. And I already mentioned
Will with the crossover.
Yes, Luis with the crossover. I already mentioned Liam finished second in the championship last season. Will is one of the drivers who did run one race and looking to make more starts this season. I know Will from the old PMRL days. He is one hell of a road racer, and he is going to absolutely smoke the field on those road courses, I can guarantee you. So it's going to be important for everybody else to get a big jump on these first 2 oval races, as Will now holds on to that 5th spot, but Patrick to the inside of both Liam and Will Lyon.
Man, Patrick, I raced with Patrick last season, and man, he was a force to be reckoned with. So I can't wait to see what he's got coming on this season, because the way he's making these moves now is amazing. They might look to be 3 wide here going into turn 1.
And quickly going back to Patrick, Patrick does have a couple podiums in the main IndyCar series, so he definitely knows how to do it on these ovals, and he's showing it today. Probably just nursing his tires a little bit as well. Like we mentioned a few times already, those tires are going to be screaming towards the end of this thing, so managing them will be a factor, and it's actually going to be pretty interesting to see how the rookies stack up compared to the guys of Stout, Savasi, Liam, and also in a sense Cotton, who did pretty well the last time we ran on an oval, I believe, from my memory. So those guys might shoot forwards once the tires wear off for the rookies.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of the rookies, going back here and looking at this battle for 12th, these four back here are actually having a pretty decent one out of the battle of the rookies.
Yeah, Cotton holding the inside of Sundberg. No, that's Darren, is it? Yes, it is Darren on the outside.
Darren, Oliver, let's see, Pim and Alexander are all having a decent battle here.
Yes, and Darren did gain that spot, so he's up to P12 now, getting by Oliver Cotton, who did have to lift off there on corner entry in the middle of turn 1.
Oh yeah, these guys, looking at the different driving styles throughout the field, our closest battle right now is back here for the 12th spot, 12th and 13th spot.
Make no mistake though, the top 5 is very intense. Gretsch and Pogadl still swapping positions and the lead on what will line at the moment. Just saving his tires there, it seems. Now his teammate from Indy Alliance Racing, unofficially, Jesper Orman, is the Texas Whisperer, so it wouldn't surprise me if he is in his ear pads. If not during the race, it will be pre-race, telling Will how to run the lines and how to run the race. And Will at the moment definitely taking care of his stuff to be a force to be reckoned with later on.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the big keys here. With how fast these cars are going, you will see some tire wear, and you also got to factor in the amount of aero wash that you are going to get off of these cars, which is just going to eat up those right sides even more.
Oh yeah, and speaking from experience, this setup does have a bit of crossweight in it, so managing that right front tire is going to be absolutely crucial. But also, the drivers who are best on the right foot are going to make their tires last the longest. It actually sounds really weird to some people, but lifting off is actually quicker around Texas, which, to go back on what I said, it sounds weird to some people, because people think Texas is an easy flat oval, just turn left, go fast. But it's not like that whatsoever. You actually have to manage your right front tires really well, even with a good setup. So, yeah, the people who can manage their tires and their right foot the best are going to shoot forwards like I covered earlier.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that was one of the things that I talked about in the pre-race. Back in the day, they were flat out. That's the big reason the 2001 kart race got canceled, was because they were so fast and they were pinned to the firewall. So the changes that they've made to this track have really slowed the speeds down, but kind of kept them about the same. So yes, lifting here is definitely going to make a difference. As we see, Robin still trying to hold off Kyle here.
Yeah, Robin doing a great job holding that inside, but I'm just curious to see when his tires go off, because at the moment, Kyle definitely getting a huge run off of turn 2 in the draft. And Kyle does have to be careful though. Running that outside line in 3 and 4 might put some extra stress on that right front. And yeah, you can visibly see Kyle looking for a gap to shoot, but there's just nothing there for him yet.
Oh, not yet, but it will be there as soon as it will be there soon. That these guys are going to start battling, as we're going to be coming to what, 13 to go?
Yes,
about 13 to go. So get ready to start seeing these two really start pushing harder. They're starting to gap a little bit, but they can't race each other too hard, because it's gonna get hairy, boys. Going back through the field, Will and Jacob are still fighting pretty hard for that 5th spot.
Yeah, and one thing that surprises me as well is Luis Nunez is one of the drivers who races in the Butt Kicker series. So he should be prepared pretty well for these. Oh, falls! Oh, there's a car in the wall.
Oh,
And that
oh
is
my
Luis.
gosh.
It is Luis. That's going to be the first caution.
It's what we like to call the broadcaster's curse. Oh, poor Liam. I don't think I have. Did that car blow over?
I don't know. We'll have to get another angle for that in just a second. But I'm looking at Liam's car right now. I don't see any damage from this point. But Luis is definitely done, though, for today.
That hurts. It looks like he just clipped the left rear of Jacob's car. Oh.
Let's see
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if we can get a good angle here following Luis here on the replay machine. So on the outside of turn 2. Oh, it's actually Olsen, I believe, that hits the wall, and then Luis hits him up the rear. And that led to him climbing the wall. So yeah, let's go back to see this in slow-mo if we can. Because it doesn't really make sense how that car for Luis jumped up in the air like that. I have to get a good slow-mo angle of this here.
And with the way that these cars, how much speed they're carrying, they're basically an aerofoil. When these cars get airborne, they don't just stay glued. They go. They will take off.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what happened. I just saw it on the replay. So yeah, Olsen in the wall gets rear-ended by Luis, who of course had nowhere to go and no time to react. So I would say that's just a racing incident. If anything, it's Olsen's fault for hitting the wall like that. But yeah, that's going to be day done for the both of them, I would assume. Unless Olsen has a very fast group of mechanics that can fix the car. But I doubt it because he's still on pit lane. So that's going to be day done for the Driven Performance eSports team. Their second driver, Kurt, not able to make the race today. And Jakub already out after the first 30 laps today. But luckily for him, he will get another shot at it in around 10-15 minutes in race number 2.
Oh, yeah. So you can't count them out just yet, but we'll see them back here for the feature race soon.
So it looks like we're going to get at least one more lap on the caution. I did speak to the race organizer pre-race, and we are going to shorten the yellows like we did last season at Indianapolis as best as possible to ensure we get as much green flag racing in as possible. So let's see if that command is given to the pace car driver this lap or the next lap. But we will get around 6 laps of green flag racing in, I would suspect. So it will only be a matter of time, but at the moment, Robin is leading the race. Caro Stout is second. Will Lyon, like we mentioned earlier, saving his stuff, is up to third. Then we got Liam O'Sullivan in fourth. Alaric Vandenbos is in the top 5, which is a good showing for him. Alaric doesn't race too often these days, but when he does, he's actually up at the front these days as well, which is great to see. Then we got, let's see, Nicholas Sumby in the 6th position. Kyle Gretsch is in P7. I believe he is one of those people that stopped for tires under this yellow. Patrick Silvassi is in 8th, and then Jarno Kausch and Darren Manning Machabunga completing the top 10. So it does look like we're going to get one more lap of pacing here in the books. So looking to get ready to go racing again with 6 laps to go.
Yeah, the guys that did come down and take tires are definitely made the right call. They definitely made the right call because it's a 40-lap race. You might as well take the tires and have the grip for that last little bit because we got we're gonna have an 8-lap shootout, 9-lap shootout here.
Yes, it will be 6 laps to go at the line. So I think the lights on the pace car will go out now, and I believe they have gone out as far as I can see. So to give you a rundown of who pitted, because I got this on the timing screen here. Kyle Gretsch, Patrick Silvassi, Jarno Kausch, DM, Bart Forrestein, Pim van Gastel, Alex Rogenbach, and Will Lyon. Not Will Lyon, sorry, that was another command there. But yeah, Rogenbach pitted. So those guys, basically from P7 on back, they are gonna try to gain an advantage here in the last couple laps with the fresh tires. And if the Indy Elite Series race is anything to go by from earlier last year in the previous season, this race is going to be absolutely nuts coming to the finishing moments of this thing.
Oh yeah, these guys are going to be fighting and scrapping. The gloves are off, pal. The gloves are off at this point. They want to, but remember, these guys are going to be inverted. So if Robin wins this race, he's going to be starting in 10th.
You make a very good point there. There's actually some value in finishing lower in the top 10 now this season, which is part of the format shakeup, similar to the real life Formula 2 championship. The top 2 get inverted. Of course, we don't have a sprint or a feature race. They're both equal lengths. But anyway, the pace car is off and Robin picks up the gas and we are back underway here from Texas Motor Speedway for the final 6 laps of competition.
Man, Robin got a great jump on that restart. That should help him out a little bit, but he can't get too greedy. He can't play it safe yet.
Looking out the rear wing of Robin, the race leader, Carl Stuyt running in second, in undoubtedly his best position at the moment in the Sprint Series so far for him. Got taken out in Spielberg, the last race he ran with us, but of course a main driver in the IndyCar Championship Series. Looking to go for his first win, perhaps of the weekend, as he goes to the outside trying to get a run on the top, and Liam ripping the top as well in the background.
Liam is driving with a purpose right now. He is hunting down Will as well. So these guys are going for it. Carroll coming up like a bullet, man. Here he goes, running the outside. Can he make this pass stick? Best thing here to do is just drop in, get the draft, and try and get him coming out of turn 4 here.
He's going to get a big run off the corner here. There he goes, picking up the draft to the outside now. He's got to keep his foot pinned in it if he wants to pull it off. He has to pinch Robin as well to the inside if he wants to pull it off. But he's going to wait to do that. Wonder if he's going to do it on the final lap when he least expects it, perhaps. Robin does. He might
with the way that Robin... With the way Robin is defending that inside line, he's going to make it extremely hard for Carroll to get around because that bottom line is bad fast.
Absolutely.
And here comes Kyle.
Yeah, Carroll might be putting Robin to sleep there, but we are already on the final lap with the time limit now as well in place. So we are on the final lap of the race. Robin with 2 wheels over the white line. And Kyle Gretsch to the inside. Carl Stuyt going to lose a spot. Is Gretsch going to steal the victory here? Completely.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
No.
Oh, what a good finish! And that was just the heat. Can you imagine what the feature's about to be like?
That was only the first race of the season, and that already was one of the closest finishes I think we'll see even tonight. But Robin Pogado pulls off the victory here. Kyle Gretsch finishes second as we are advancing to the second race. So it's time to wait and see if we can talk to the race 1 winner, as we are looking at some beautiful camera angles right there. So what a first race. Seriously, that was one heck of a finish, and I'm going to look if we can pull up the race results. And no, they've already advanced. Okay, that's great. We love that. So we're not allowed to look at the race results.
Well, you can. You just have to go back and look at the heat side of things. But man, what a race!
Yeah, Mike, if you could just go into the iRacing results page and if you can, just name the race results.
So at the end of the first heat, race winner is Robin. Second place is Kyle. Third place is Carroll. P4, Patrick Silvestri. P5 is Will Lyon. Liam Sullivan bringing it home P6. Jarno bringing it home P7. Darren P8. Alaric P9, and Nicholas Senby rounds out your top 10.
So we do have the race 1 winner with us already. as people are practicing for the night race coming up in about 3 minutes and 20 seconds time. But here is the race winner. Is my mic on Discord working? There it is. Congratulations, Robin, on a very exciting finish and a great win from your end. Just tell us about how you feel over the final 4 laps, coming to that restart, and also where did that come from? Because
Yeah, anxious. I was sad to see the yellow flag falling, and then of course it was my first restart in this league, my first restart on this track with the setup, and yeah, I was anxious to spin it in turn 1. Fortunately, you guys warned me to put a negative map. That helped, and yeah, and then it was like from the second lap onwards, it was like before, so I knew I had it under control.
I have to ask as well, what is your experience level like on these ovals? Because you sure did look like a veteran out there.
Thank you. I mean, I do like the ovals in IndyCar in iRacing, and since I started, driving here in iRacing, I always, almost every week I participated in the ovals whenever I had them. So yeah, I don't think that I'm a really experienced guy, but as experienced as on the road courses probably.
Well, you sure did a great job. Mike, any finishing questions for Robin here?
The only question I have is, what was it like to get shot out of a cannon on that restart, buddy?
Great. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, maybe I had no expectations going into this race because I didn't know the opponents, and after quali, I did not expect to have any chance of winning this because we were far down the grid, and I thought it was easier to overtake here, to be honest. So it is a very nice but welcome surprise.
Well, good luck to you in the feature, man. I'm pulling for you. You better make it 2 for 2, man, because you definitely put on a show.
Thanks. I try my best to race clean and hard, but whatever happens in the second race, I'm gonna go out of this as a happy person, definitely.
That's the best thing you can do, man.
All right, best of luck for race 2, and keep your car in one piece because this race is going to be even crazier than the one we just finished. So best of luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Mike, we've got 1 minute left. Who do you have for race 2?
I'm gonna go with our race 1 winner, Robin, and I mean, he definitely showed why it's called No Limits Texas for a reason. So, come on, Robin, let's do this.
So we got 40 seconds left. Now, if you will remember, the starting grid for race 2 is going to be an invert of the race results for race 1 for the top 10. Then from 11th on back, it is just the race results from race 1. So Robin is going to start in P10. And Mike, I'll leave the honors to you to announce the pole sitter for race 2 because I don't have the results in front of me.
All right, well, let's see. Our pole sitter is actually going to be Nicholas Sandby. So he finished in 10th place in the first race, so he's going to be starting on pole for this feature race, and Alaric is going to be starting on his outside, followed by Darren, then Yarno, then Liam, Will, Patrick, Carell, Kyle, and then our race 1 winner, Robin.
All right.
So it's going to be... Oh! Hold on. We may have just had a... Well, we'll see here, actually.
No, gridding for race 2 should begin right now. That's why everybody jumped out. I think that's what you were scared for. So people are gridding up for race 2. So everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. But,
yes, sir. Well, it may not be flopping. It's looking like Robin's going to be starting back on pole.
It did give me an invert on iRacing, the page. So this is an interesting development. Let's just call it that. But yeah, this is interesting because Patrick and we tested this format exactly how it is last week or 2 weeks ago. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do here. So not quite sure what is going on here, but we are going to get rolling then for race 2 with the same results from the first race, which is interesting enough. But it is going to be a pack race, so after all, it wouldn't really make a difference, would it?
And as we've seen in the past races, I think back when we were still running the old DW12, we saw a couple of really, really close finishes during the night races. So let's see. I think we had Graham Rahal in 2016, Scott Dixon in 2015. So the night races tend to put on a lot of really good racing. So we're going to see a lot of faster speeds, cooler temps, a lot more grip. Because right now, looking at it with us moving over to the nighttime, partly cloudy skies, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, air temp, and the track temp is 80. So it's going to be nice and fast tonight.
Absolutely, and the wind is also not too high, so look for the cars to have plenty of grip for this second race. As the sun has already set, we are going to race into the night to close this first night of racing off. An unexpected starting grid, but Robin going to lead us back to green for race number 2 of the night as he picks it up and leads Kyle Gretsch to green.
Yes, another great start from Robin. You think he's got it figured out after that first one?
Oh, I don't think he has anything less figured out than that. As we are already battling for the lead going into turn 3. Robin on the inside, Kyle back to the outside, the same way. Ooh, that was almost contact right there as we finished off the first race. As Will Lyon there looking to gain a spot on Carroll Stout as well in the background, but Liam O'Sullivan already up to 3rd position. As
oh yeah, they are.
Kyle Gretsch to the outside pulls it off. Liam O'Sullivan.
Oh, here comes Liam. They're 3 wide behind him too. Oh man, we said we were going to see pack racing, and boy, are we getting it. This top 6 is going for it.
Oh, Will in the grass almost trying to do a Takuma Sato minus the spin. Carroll doing the crossover on Will Lyon there, going to go to the inside, picks up the draft from Robin. Carroll sends it to the inside of Robin as well, who leaves the door open, so move Carroll up to 4th place. This is going to be 3rd place across the line. I think it will be, but he's going to be
3 wide at
in.
the line.
Yeah, 3 wide between Liam O'Sullivan and Robin, and also Kyle Gretsch there still in the mix. And this is absolutely mental. This is worse than 2017.
Oh, Robin going for the ball. Oh my God, what a pass! He made that look easy, but boy, it was sketchy. Woo!
Sketchy as well. He might have to give that spot back if he is not careful, because he did go out of bounds there. So, yeah, ballsy pass, but I wouldn't say legal. I also wouldn't say illegal, but
we may have to get an onboard shot of that in a replay, because that was nutty.
I'll try my best when we get a caution, because at this rate we might have one. We already had 2 moments of near contact.
Oh yeah, and you can tell these guys are really starting to bunch up here. I told you this night race was going to bring out a lot of close racing with the cooler temperatures. They're about to go 3 wide here going into turn 4.
On board with Liam O'Sullivan to the inside now of Gretsch for the 4th position. And this race is so action-packed, I even forgot to put the timing tower up. There you go. There it is. Liam O'Sullivan running in the 3rd position. Carroll Stout 2nd, chasing down the leader, Robin Pugado, as Robin does exactly the same thing as he's been doing all night long, defending that inside line. But look at the run Liam is getting.
Yeah, this draft and this colder track tip is going to make it. Oh, Liam! Woo! He tried to go 3 wide, but Robin just shut that door on him so quick. And the thing here is you want to defend that bottom line here in these Indy cars. Stock cars, it's a whole different story, but these Indy cars really like that bottom line.
Absolutely, and look at the gaps, by the way. I have to get rid of this overlay for the driver inputs. Look at the gap. The entire 16 car field is spread by 2.7 seconds. And the entire top 10 is within, well, the top 8 is within 1 second. Just look how close those margins are. Oh, as Kyle Gretsch almost gets in the back of Patrick Savassi.
Oh yeah, I told you in qualifying these guys were less than a tenth off of each other. We were going to be seeing some really close racing, and man, are they doing it. They are giving the fans a show. They are getting their money's worth tonight.
Just look at that shot of all those cars going into turn 3. That is absolutely insane.
Man, I want to know what it looks like from the rear wing, looking back at the rest of the field, because you could throw a blanket on these top 8. These guys are going at it, man.
Just briefly saw it from the back of Karel Stouts' car, running second, still trying to pass the leader, but it is a wasp's nest right there behind, as Gretsch looking to the outside, almost in the wall, trying to open up that gap. But yeah, nowhere to go for the guys running in 3rd and 4th at the moment. Liam O'Sullivan gonna drop back a little bit with the dirty air too.
Oh man.
3 wide.
Liam under pressure as well.
Yeah, briefly saw 3 wide between Sunby, Van Gastel and Cotton. But Sunby got those positions. And those guys are now separated. The top 10 has pulled away 1.1 seconds to Sunby. So the bottom 6 is definitely dropping back. And Will Lyon appears to have had an issue. And he's got no front wing.
Oh no! Might have been a little bit of contact there. But man, are we getting a show right now. I had a feeling Texas was gonna put on a monster first race of the new season. Liam going to the outside, turn 3. There you go, 3 wide staggered.
Look at Luis Nunez now to 2nd almost.
Luis Nunez, after having a massive shunt, he is sitting 3rd.
Quickly falls back to 4th as Liam gains that spot back. But yeah, the 2 Altena Autosport VOR drivers, Karel Stout and Liam O'Sullivan, doing a great job of holding everyone else at bay. And Liam gonna force the issue on the top. Liam does love that top line, like we covered in the first race of the night. As he is gonna set up a run on his teammate Cower here, coming off of turn 2. 25 laps to go.
Oh yeah, this is gonna get easy there, boys. There's we've heard him say it before. Boys have at it, but don't have at it too much. Oh, lose a little bit of contact behind. Seems like everybody's got it gathered back up. Not a lot of damage, it looks like.
Yeah, let's quickly go take a look at this coming out of turn 4 here. This is following Luis Nunez. Was running in 4th position at the time. We'll go back up to the battle for the leaders in just a second. But you can clearly see here Janne Kausch on the outside trying to force the gap here. Clips Luis Nunez in the rear. And that sends both of them in the wall and everyone else has to check up there. But no major damage for any one of those drivers, I would suspect, as Luis Nunez is already charging back up towards the top 7.
Oh yeah, he is coming with a head of steam, but he's also trying to bide his time and see if these guys make a mistake, because one little mistake and you're going for a ride.
For a ride, Luis Nunez went in the first race.
That's an understatement. Man, Liam is battling his own teammate here, and I can't blame him.
Kyle Gretsch
every little point counts. There. He almost did. He tried.
And you just have to.
But the moment, yeah, you have to. That's your prime passing spot, because the top line will stall out a little bit if you don't have that draft help. It's almost like kind of like a parachute.
Absolutely, and yeah, like we mentioned, you have to make these passes. Remember, these races are only 40 laps long, and I guess you could say the first race was a bit of a pack race, not as crazy as this one, but if you have the opportunity to make a pass, you have to take it, because you just don't know if that opportunity is going to present itself again to go to that front position. And even if there's 20 laps to go, Liam almost running into the back of his teammate there. Rule number 1, don't hit your teammate.
Yes. And Nunez back up into 4th. He is gaining ground quick.
Wouldn't surprise me if Luis is driving mad right now, having that accident in the first race and again getting clipped in the rear just a few moments ago. But yeah, 3 wide for the lead right now, and Luis nowhere to go. But Luis is in a prime position to make a move. If any one of the top 3 make a mistake, he will be right there to pounce.
Oh yeah, and he is lying in wait like a lioness, and you can't blame him because he's hungry. He's driving like a madman, and he wants it. He wants it bad enough. So this top 5 right here could get real dicey.
Van der Bos in the meantime getting a big run on the outside, and he has to get on the brakes to not run into the back of Jarno Kausch. Still running in that top 10 position. And I wouldn't count out Alaric, the old fox in the field. Experience might pay off later on this night.
And that's the one thing that this place will take, is some kind of experience. Robin, not so much, but he's looking like a veteran out there, but he is one of the rookie drivers and probably the best rookie driver we've got out there right now.
Absolutely. The other 2 rookies in the top 5 are Nunez and Olsen. But those guys, even though they've been up there, they haven't really been able to fight Robin for that top spot. So at the moment, Robin very much the dominant rookie in the field. As Patrick trying to make a move on Olsen here for the 5th spot. Trying to crack that top 5. And he pulls it off.
Yes. Oh, Robin in the grass.
Gonna lose the spots to O'Sullivan and Stout, who now takes the lead. Now, can Stout defend that inside line like Robin has been doing for 64 laps? Whoa! Contact in the background, I think.
Nunez and Robin collecting each other.
Oh yeah, there's Nunez's day done.
Oh no, yeah, no, Luis, no. Oh man.
Trying to find the incident here very quickly before we have the closing laps of this thing. So yeah, here's Robin going through the grass. It's amazing how he held on to that car. I will never understand how he pulls that off, but he keeps it on the road. Luis on the outside here, and yeah, Robin pushes up and basically fist bumps Luis into the wall, which damages his right front suspension, and turn 2 has not been a good spot for him today, as he slides up the track, and Cottom almost runs into the back of him as well, but all is well for those guys. But they done for Luis.
Yeah, and Robin going through the grass. That save. That's what we like to call over here the "Are you in good hands" awards, because he definitely had the hands.
Speaking of hands, it's 4 hands for the top 2 spots. Liam O'Sullivan and Carl Stout locked in a battle. They've pulled away 1.4 seconds to Olsen running in the 3rd spot. So the race for the win very much between the 2 teammates right now. Carol led that last lap by 0.03 seconds. But Liam, very experienced and very skilled at Texas. So I think he has got a couple tricks up his sleeve to show Carol how it's done. But 10 laps to go. And I'm going to be very curious to see if Carol can hold on like this. Because at the moment he's doing a pretty solid job.
Well, here's the bigger question. Does Liam give him the win and call team orders on himself to put him and his teammate in a good position?
Very good point there. I'm not sure if Liam is one of those drivers, even though he is the team president alongside myself. I don't think they are going to be enforcing team orders other than don't hit each other, obviously. I know Carol and Liam are very competitive drivers. They're racing in real life. Not together, but they do race in real life, as Patrick Silvassi is in the pits, so his day is done, 4 laps down already.
Oh no.
But Liam and Carol both 100% going to fight this out for the win here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if your teammates in the last 10 laps, them gloves come off. Liam looking to make the pass, and he's going to lead that lap. Liam getting it done on the outside. What a move.
Yeah, Carroll scrubbed way too much speed coming off of turn 4, and that just gave Liam O'Sullivan the lead. And Carroll trying to catch back up in the draft, but now Jakub Olsen is back in the mix as well. He is just 7/10 behind, so 6 laps to go across the line. This might be a 3-horse race for the win after all.
We'll see. Liam really needs to defend that bottom line if he wants to pull out this feature win. But with how far back Jacob is, if these guys continue to keep fighting like this, he'll catch up. But he is under pressure from Vandenbos and Jarno. So this could help out Carl and Liam a little bit.
Yeah, Stout might be playing rear gunner as well for Liam at this stage in the race, because there's 5 laps to go. We know how powerful the draft and how grippy the track is. And right as I say that, Carroll closes the gap. Gonna try to look for a spot in the grass first of all, but now to the outside. Gonna try to set up a run.
But the question is does Liam protect that bottom side like we have been seeing all night? You don't want to leave too much of a space down there on that white line going down the backstretch, because you will leave the door open, and it ain't going to help your cause at all.
Will Lyon, gets out of the way, pulls into the pits.
Jacob making a head of steam. He's back up into contention.
Yeah, here
he
comes.
Is just lying in wait.
He gets a big run there on Carroll Stout. He's going to go to the outside. Not the preferred line though, but he might be able to set himself up a run for turn 1 here with a double draft. He has to get down a little bit more, and there he goes. Picks it up. Can he pull this off with 2 laps to go?
Carl moving up the track, kind of give his teammate a little bit of a cushion there, kind of stack him up a bit. You know, and from a driver's standpoint, that's smart. That's smart. I would play the teammate role in that area as well. Coming to the white flag, Liam O'Sullivan leading this lap. Now the gloves are off. Who makes the final move? Is it Liam? Is it Carroll? Or are we going to see Jacob pull out all the punches and make the move happen?
Liam O'Sullivan through turns 3 and 4. He's got 2 car lengths on Carroll Stout. And I think it's going to be Liam's win here, and indeed he does win it. Carroll Stout finishes 2nd, Jakub Olsen finishes 3rd to complete the podium. And what about Alaric Vandenbos? I told you in the beginning of this race, he is the old fox in the field, and his experience pulls him to a top 5 finish here tonight. What a race by Alaric. And also Jarno Kausch, by the way, finishing in 4th place. His teammate didn't have the best of luck this race, but he sure made it up for the team itself today, as Liam O'Sullivan picks up his first win of the season here today. So we've had Robin and Liam go to victory lane, 2 different drivers from 2 different teams. And that just shows the competition in this series. But what a race, man. Seriously, that was one hell of a show all night long. Even despite that format mix-up by iRacing there. We're just going to blame iRacing.
Format mix-up or not, that put on a great race. That
Absolutely.
Put on one of the best races I've seen at Texas on this service in a while.
And we're just going to blame iRacing for messing up the format because we tested it and it worked. So
Blame them all you want. It still gave us a great race.
Sure did. So here are your final results for race 2 at Texas Motor Speedway. Liam O'Sullivan wins by exactly 1/10 of a second over his teammate Carroll Stout. A beautiful 1-2 for the Altena Autosport team. Jakub Olsen completes the podium. Jarno Kausch and Alaric Vandenbos the top 5. Then we have Nicholas Sundby, Kyle Gretsch, Darren Machavunga. Alexander Rogenbuck finishes in the 9th position, by the way. Great result for him on his first event in the series. Oliver Cottam completes the top 10. Moving on to the next and final page of results. It is Bart Feuerstein, Pim van Gastel, Will Lyon finishes 4 laps down with damage. Robin Pogado finishes P14. Patrick Zulvasi rounds off the top 15 and is the first retiree. and Luis Nunez as well. So unlucky day for those two, especially Luis, who got taken out twice tonight, but still put on one heck of a show, mixing it up at the front. And I'm sure on the road courses, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, what a race.
Oh, man. My heart's racing, man. I wish they would have got another 20.
All right, so it's time to bring in your race winner, Liam O'Sullivan. Congratulations. A bit of an odd start to the race with somehow a format mix-up, even though that format exactly was tested extensively and it worked. So we'll just blame iRacing for this. Still a great result from you nonetheless. Congratulations. And just tell us about your battle with Carol, your thought process during that battle, and also were you fearing Jakub behind you at all in the final lap?
Yeah, I mean, it's just typical Texas. You've got to pinch the guy down on the inside, and you've really got to make it difficult for them, which is what I did to Carroll there. And I mean, that's the only way you can pass on the outside here is time your run and really pressure them on that bottom and really lock them, which is always really difficult to do in turn 1 and 2 here because it's such a weirdly profiled corner. And then I was able to get him on the exit of 2 and then hold the inside quite well as I use my tools then from then on. But otherwise, what's that? Only one caution in out of the 2 races, which is a lot more than I think. I know there's going to be a few tempers after this, but there's always that when we come to a track which is somewhat of a pack race with the setup we built. But I'd like to think overall that was 2 very good races.
Yeah, no limits Texas, and we saw a classic Texas Motor Speedway photo finish there. Well, almost photo finish anyway, but it was very close. So looking ahead to the rest of the schedule, Liam, we know we have a couple of interesting tracks coming up. Which ones are you personally looking forward to?
Belle Isle, again, it's a track I love, and hopefully a win there in the main series and a win in this, 2 wins in this series.
Let's go for the Liam O'Sullivan win doubleheader then. All right?
Yeah, since you didn't want to give me the Triple Crown in the main series. Yeah.
we can make that work. That's a fair trade.
Got robbed? Dang. Oof.
So
you
Mike,
win Indy and you win Pocono and then no credit. Wow.
Oh.
you can win the twin crown or the double crown, whatever. So Mike, any finishing questions for Liam here as we wrap up?
Liam, how did you make that pass on the outside work out of 4? You'd been trying that pass all night, and it finally worked. How did you make it happen?
It's what I said. You've got to pinch them down where you can in really squeeze that guy and limit him to the bottom lane so he has to lift, which is a thing that's really difficult to do. But if the guy on the inside is not on top of their tools, you'll make it work. And in this thing, I think Carroll got slightly caught out or wasn't expected it. But like I said, he's only had the car for 6 months. So it's still a learning process for him. I was trying to explain that to him after the race that I'm going to do that to you. And it's going to get tighter and tighter, that gap, as the laps wind down. No matter who you are, you're going to be getting squeezed. And all it takes is that one wrong move and both of us will go in the wall. But that's the way you've got to race on these 1.5 miles in a track like that. You've got to give minimal space, and the occasional wheel bang is always going to happen.
Yeah, so you kind of had shades of Fernando Alonso on Michael Schumacher there when you made that pass. That was awesome. You knew he had a wife and kid at home, so he had to lift.
Yeah, that's another way to put it.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight, man, and we'll see you going into next week. Hope to see you in the top spot again, man.
Yep, and thank you guys for stepping in, especially Mike, stepping into the broadcast booth for the first time in VOR history.
Yeah, first time in a year that I've been in the booth, so you guys gave me one heck of a show, man. I was on my toes.
Absolutely. Thanks, Liam. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, Mike, that's going to wrap it up for us. Looks like we're going to have some stuff to talk about with the format mix-up. A few drivers agree with me that it's actually quite ridiculous that it got wrong somehow. So we'll talk about that and get it sorted for next week's races. Of course, a new format is always going to bring some challenges. Let's just keep it at that. And yeah, whatever the reason is, we'll figure it out and get better next week. But can't take away from the fact that we had 2 amazing races here tonight at Texas, and this track, like we mentioned countless times today, just puts on these kinds of shows. And Mike, I'm glad to have had you up here to call it with me. It was almost too much to keep up with sometimes. So
I mean, that's IndyCar racing, man. That's why we love it. That's why we love it.
and it actually puts more respect to what the guys at NBC did over the last 10 years or so, 12 years, 15
Oh my
years
gosh.
actually. So yeah, just a great job from everyone here tonight who raced and kept it clean. Thank you, Mike, as well. Also, I completely forgot, because of all the action we've had, coverage for all these races is brought to you by Lovins Incorporated and IFS Personal Financial Planning. We'd like to thank both those guys, Alexander Boney and Gary Lovren, for their support of the series. More information on their business adventures are in the description, so make sure to check them out. Alexander Boney for holistic financial planning, and Gary Lovren, his brother's company, actually, for mold removal and other services. So check it out over in the description. Huge thanks to those people for the support they provide the league, and everyone who came out to race today. That is going to wrap it up. Mike, once again, thank you very much for being up here. We'll discuss things for next week, but I have to say, personally, I'm very excited to go back to the road courses to give me an easier time calling these races, because this was absolutely nuts.
Oh man, I hope for more races like that. Just a suggestion, we need more ovals. That was fun.
I, for one, actually completely agree, but this is a road-based series, so I doubt people are gonna jump in the air for more ovals. But speaking of ovals, actually, which is gonna bring me to the next thing, the Iconic Series is running tomorrow, which Gary Gotso and Kyle Clentworth will be covering right here on this channel at 3 p.m. Eastern US time, or 9 p.m. Central European time. Tune in for that, as well as the Saturday IR18 race at Phoenix. The new Phoenix, DW12s will be at Old Phoenix, IR18s on New Phoenix, with Ryan Eric King and Gary Gotso on the Saturday race in the booth. So check it out as well for the other 2 races this weekend. But yeah, like I mentioned, that's going to wrap it up for us for 2 crazy races here at Texas. Mike and I will see you all in 1 week's time from the Nürburgring Grand Prix Strecke, and hopefully for more exciting racing like today. So thanks once again for joining us, and see you all next week.
We'll see you next week.